And hello YouTube and welcome back to another episode of The Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan. Once again bringing you my thoughts and review for the brand new Spider-Man animated movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now this is a new Sony movie, distributed by Sony, Spider-Man based film, but it also has the brand new character Miles Morales, aka Spider-Man. Now in the comics, Miles Morales Spider-Man is another version of Spider-Man who take up the mantle after Peter Parker's death. So in this movie, we get to meet Miles Morales, and we get pretty much a cool, like, origin story, if you will, from this movie, where Miles Morales, he's in the same world as Spider-Man, and something happens where an alternate dimension opens up, and other Spider-Men or Spider-People come from different dimensions, where you have Spider-Gwen, you have a noir Spider-Man, like a black and white version of himself, Spider-Ham, which is an animated cartoon pig Spider-Man, Peter Porker, as he's called in his world. You have a Japanese animated character in Penny Parker. And then they go on this adventure trying to fix the problem to get all these Spider-Man and Spider-People back at their own dimension. And then, of course, he meets another Peter Parker from another timeline where he's kind of like Spider-Man, but he's kind of like a lazy version of himself. He really let himself go. He doesn't really, have everything that Spider-Man normally has. And this movie is bonkers in a good way, because this movie really shows that you can make another Spider-Man X character like they did with Venom. They proved that with Venom. They can make a Venom movie without Spider-Man in it. They can make another Spider-Man that's not really Peter Parker and make his character pretty damn awesome. So you have Miles Morales, a normal teenager. He has his parents. He has his uncle. Typical normal kid. He goes to like very gifted school. Typical teenage stuff. But, something happens to him where he gets bit by a spider, normally, like how every Spider-Man movie is. And he develops the powers of Spider-Man, but his powers are very different from what we normally see from Spider-Man. Yes, he's got the spider sense and all that, but he has other powers as well. I really don't want to get into it because that's kind of spoilerish. But when you see it, it's actually pretty cool, especially if you don't know the character. If you know the character and what his powers are, you know what I'm talking about. So we got to see that, and it was very cool seeing him be Spider-Man and how he has to transition from being a regular kid to Spider-Man. So we got to see that. We got to see some cool characters in here, like villain-wise. We got to see Tombstone, Green Goblin, Scorpion, and the Kingpin, which is the main villain in the movie. Now, I haven't seen Kingpin be this good as a villain since Daredevil. Yeah, pretty much. And this Kingpin is a lot better than the animated series Spider-Man Kingpin that we ever had. So it was great to see Kingpin with a Spider-Man in a movie. Not live action, but you get what you get, and it's actually pretty cool. It really gives the Kingpin character development. You understand why he's trying to kill Spider-Man in this movie and why he's trying to do his whole big plan, because he really has a tragic backstory to himself. It's really, really good, which I didn't expect to see that in any kind of Spider-Man movie. There's always one tragedy in all these Spider-Man movies, and that was Ben Parker's death. Spoiler, we've never seen Spider-Man, but still. So, tragedies like that, or even worse tragedies in this movie, big plus. So that was pretty cool. Spider-Gwen, which I always wanted to see in the movies. Spider-Gwen's another version of Spider-Man, or it's basically Gwen Stacy from another world where Spider-Man is dead in her world, and she takes up the mantle of Spider-Man, and she becomes Spider-Gwen, or Spider-Woman, as some people call her. She was great. Spider-Ham, which is the pig version, very funny character, very cool. Good to see that character. That could have been a bad character. It could have got really cheesy if played off too much, but it really worked very well. He was a great character. The Noir Spider-Man, which is the black and white version, he was great. He was played by Nicolas Cage. Good character. Kind of wish they made a movie about him. That'd be kind of cool if they ever do one day. That'd be really cool. Even the Japanese animated character, Penny Parker, she was cool. Small role, obviously, but very good. And Peter Parker from the other verse was actually really good. You know, you got to see why he was such a, I guess, a letdown in his world. And it was kind of funny. It was kind of, also Doc Ock is in this movie too. Very good character as well. This whole movie itself was just great. The animation, it may like bother your eyes a little bit because the animation is so. It kind of like looks like 3D without the 3D glasses, but it really works and it's a great animation. Yes, it may hurt your eyes a little bit, but once you see the movie, you get used to it, and it really is a very beautiful. It's like looking at a comic book. Like they really took a comic book and put it into the big screen, and it looks like you're actually following a comic book. So it really worked. But if your eyes start to bother you from it, don't worry about it. It will adjust to it because the story itself is so good that you'll be like, wow, it probably won't even bother you as much. But if it does, then there's a little warning for there, right there. So, like I said, I enjoyed this movie a lot. I think this could be maybe my second favorite Spider-Man movie right now. I don't know. I might have to rewatch it again to see where it actually falls into the Spider-Man movies. It's a very good movie. Miles Morales is a great character. I always liked the character anyway. I always wanted to see him on the big screen, animated or live action. Hopefully now we can get a live action version of himself because I think that'd be really cool. But I enjoyed it. I hope you do too. If you wanted to check this movie out, go check it out. Support it because it's actually very good. And let me know what you guys thought about it, if you saw it, and if you want to see it. And because you're not going to be disappointed. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about it. And thank you very much and have a good day.